for May 19th, 2026. It is 5:30 p.m. And thank you for joining with us. If you will join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America
to the
and
republic,
to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation under God,
indivisible.
indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. And then if we can get an adoption for this agenda.
I move to adopt the Wickenburg Unified School District Governing Board regular telephonic meeting agenda for May 19th, 2026.
Second.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Susan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right, first item of business is our recognitions and proclamations section. Is there anybody on the board that wishes to do any recognitions at this time?
I would.
Okay, Sandy.
Okay, I just wanted to recognize Dr. Barbara Remendini and her staff and teachers and firefighters and everyone that that fought the fire and made safe exits for our children and the children in the nursery school. Just want to say everybody did a great job.
I agree with that. All right.
And
okay.
I have one other thing, and
Sure.
I went to baccalaureate last night, and I just wanted to say it was really nice, and the kids did a great job.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sandy. Is anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I want to second what Sandy said about the fire situation and how it was handled. I thought everyone did an amazing job. Being a parent of a high school student, I got a text, an email, and a phone call multiple times to tell me what was going on and how it was being handled. And I also was at the high school to pick up my daughter, and I saw how the elementary school students were getting picked up and how all of that was handled. And it was just amazing and well done. To be a parent right now with your kids in schools and having to, witness what was going on in the town with the fire. I just thought everyone in the district did an amazing job, and I just want to say thank you for that. Also, I just want to say congrats to baseball and softball for making the playoffs and for how well they showed up. I didn't get to go to any of the games, but I did see some highlights and video, and I thought that was awesome. So congratulations to those teams. And if you missed the musical last month, it was amazing. So thank you all for supporting those theater kids.
working with our insurance company and to get some testing done and to make sure Hacienda and the district office is clean and safe for everybody to return. There was no fire on our campus other than some hot spots on the grass, but the smoke and the soot that comes in from a fire being that close, we wanted to make it safe. So that's ongoing right now. So I'll keep updating the board and the community when we're finished with that. Do want to shout out the sports teams, all of them, and just hope that the governing board is watching. We've had a lot of seniors who are celebrating their signings that are going on to play athletics at the collegiate level, so they did a great job. Shout out to Erin Livingston, teacher at Festival Foothills. She was selected from the City of Buckeye's Tools for Teachers winner, and just it might have been this morning, but it might have been yesterday, $250 worth of classroom materials that were provided by the City of Buckeye, and she was selected as one of their teachers for this month. A reminder to everyone that the time capsule, the 1976 time capsule, is still on display at Vulture Peak. It was supposed to move to Hacienda this week, but it will stay here at Vulture Peak. And so if anybody wants to see that. And then one final, I'll do a final salute to Officer Joe Leahy, who's been our school resource officer since 2018, is retiring at the end of this year. And our Hacienda and Vulture Peak students were privileged to take part in his final call on Monday, where all of the first responders showed up here and did the traditional last call for him. And he had no idea what was going on. So it was a wonderful thing for our students and community to see happen. And I think that's it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ramandini. Okay, so now we move into our call to the public. And Ms. Geip, if you could welcome that person and let them know they have their 2.5 minutes to shine.
Okay, it is Mr. Chris Spillane. And yeah, I would say come here so they could hear.
Yeah, sure.
And you can have a seat if you'd like.
Hello, board members. First of all, special shout out to Ron. Ron, I believe you're an OSU fan. I was a big OSU fan during the late 70s. So that's pretty cool. I really wanted to attend because my wife and we retired here we built a house several years ago, and because of family, we are now retiring here in Wickenburg, and my wife's also a teacher. And I just want to commend the superintendent on the action she took on evacuating Hacienda School. Just FYI, I've seen a lot of fire. I'm a retired firefighter back east. So like I said, I've seen a lot. So for her to make that decision pretty quickly was great. But being a retired firefighter, evacuations, we always wish they could be sooner. But again, because of logistics and everything that was going on, which is sometimes a lot of craziness, she did pull the right string, and we got she and the staff, including my wife and all our colleagues, got the kids out safely onto the 2 buses. And that's all I just wanted to say, and that's the reason why I wanted to come to this meeting.
Well, I really appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for that.
And just so you know, she was playing baseball in Surprise on Thursday morning.
Yeah, Ron, I'm not a big baseball fan. I was a wrestling and football. I'm sorry, man. So when I followed Stillwater, that's all I followed. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right. And Casey, that's it for the public there? Call it a public?
Yeah, for call to the public, yes. We have another member of the public that's just here to listen. But we're ready to go on to the next item.
Perfect. All right, that does move us into our consent agenda. And I'm going to turn it over briefly to Dr. Ramandini. She has an item that we need to pull, and then we'll get back into our board members to pull if they need to.
Thank you, Mr. Malio, members of the board. We did find an error earlier today. It is actually a typo on the personnel action report for Heather Clank. So we will pull that one par and give us time to look at it and resubmit it at a future meeting, probably in June. the rest of the consent packet should be ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Remendini. So anybody else on the board need anything pulled before we take action on the rest of the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none, we can entertain the motion for the consent agenda minus that one part that you just spoke of.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda for May 19th, 2026, minus the par for Heather Klink.
Second.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sandy. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The motion does carry. Thank you. Move along to action item. And item A is the request for approval of the financial reports. And I'll turn it over to our Executive Director of Business Services, Mr. James Scott.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. As you have in your board packet, you have the April 2026 Business Office Report. In April, our monthly expenses were $984,435, a little less compared to the year prior. And our unrestricted capital expenses was $25,992. And our M&O budget balance is $2,814,845. And our unrestricted capital is $628,680 balance. We did have some unique POs over $10,000. One was to Pueblo Mechanic for almost $15,000. That was to replace a hot water heater at the WCA lease facility. $11,226 for fire inspection and repairs at the high school through fire security, electronics, and communications. A little over $13,000 at Amazon for some computer replacements. $189,553 paid to Copper State, although a majority of that was paid by the school facilities board. The district's portion was about $16,000. And then we spent $14,083 on signage at the high school entrance, and that was paid by a donation. Compliance issues completed in April. We did our end of the year procurement procedures and policies were implemented. We opened open enrollment for our employees' benefits. All employee evaluations were turned into human resources, and our quarterly taxes and payroll reports were submitted. So our budgets were in balance, no surprises, and we are in compliance. If you have any questions, be glad to answer those for you.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
just
Scott.
Can I ask one question just real quick?
Of course.
Is that what one water heater costs?
So it's an extremely large water heater, and it was a gas water heater. So yeah, that's what that, and then installation through a special mechanical company. Yes, that's what it ended up costing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I had the same question, so don't.
It's like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Anybody else have questions for Mr. Scott? Okay,
No.
hearing none, we can entertain a motion to approve those reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports as submitted.
Second.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sandy. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. All right, item B in the action items is a request for approval to declare a school emergency. It's narrated pretty well in here, but Dr. Remendini, did you want to expound on this for any reason?
I will be happy to answer any questions if the explanation is not straightforward, but as you all know, we closed schools last Tuesday to settle into the results of the Jones fire.
Okay, anybody have any questions, or we can move right to the motion if you don't have any questions or concerns.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the request to declare school emergency day as submitted.
Second.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sandy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you for that. Now we move into our informational items. Item 6A is items for future agendas. Anybody have any commentary for that section? Okay. Item B, announcements and calendar. And thank you once again, Casey, for all your work and Talon, for keeping us updated on these things.
You're welcome.
I went to print this calendar and it brought up some weird printer. And it wouldn't, I couldn't print it. I don't know what printer, whose printer it was, but it wasn't mine.
Huh.
So, and it's been installed and I've always been able to print it off from here, so I'm assuming it's just because it's diligence.
Well, that
Hmm.
could be.
Try it again and see what it says.
Okay.
And I'll get you a hard copy.
This is Karen. Will we be changing or looking at that October meeting at our June meeting or what? Or voting on it since Casey, Dr.
So-
Remedy?
Yes, so Karen, the board meeting was, I think we didn't have all the calendars in front of us.
Okay,
Fall break is actually a week later than it normally is.
Mhm.
So we will have to adjust the governing board meeting calendar for next year. And we will have to have a telephonic meeting at the beginning of October to meet the October 15th deadline for our budget revisions and updates, whichever one that one is. And then the governing board meeting will be the 20th.
I believe it's the 20th.
So we'll put that on the June agenda for the board to consider those changes.
okay,
Casey can send out a summary of what the recommended changes for those board dates are for the board to consider in June so that you can do your fall planning.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder.
And it is, yes, the 20th, be the next one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for all of that. We can move into closing of the meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Susan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And we will now adjourn this meeting at 5:52 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
all.
you.
And a reminder